Okay, in the previous part we talked about the lookalike, bookmakers sort of pictures that turn up there. How important are the betting ring managers to the betting ring? Because there was recently there's been a bit of a scare that they might not even exist anymore after the new takeover. So how important do you think they are to the running of the betting ring?
Well, the betting ring manager is a creation of when the NJPC took over and the Ferguson scheme got torn up, and where the regional associations managed the bookmakers' pitches, which probably wasn't an ideal situation at all. But at the same time, there was a member of the Racecourse Security Services who was called the betting ring. He wasn't the betting ring manager; he was the betting ring official, and he looked at the disputes between the bookmakers and the customers, and he would then try and arbitrate or refer it to a higher level. The betting ring manager now does both the job of the betting ring manager, the racecourse security person, the betting ring official, and it's all into one. Now, since then, we've moved on. A lot of the bets are, as you've alluded to, not on tickets and book and written in a book with a pencil, but they're now actually on a computerized printed ticket. So therefore, the area of dispute is falling by more and more. I mean, I'm not sure how many disputes there are now, and times have moved on. You know, as I said, there's so fewer bookies now. It doesn't take a lot of work to put the bookmakers in the position, because of course previously a bookmaker had his pitch, so he would turn up and just go in it. Now the bookmaker picks, and it's the betting ring manager that asks him which pick he wants to go into. But again, you'll find when you walked out to where I saw you earlier, all the bookmakers are in the pitches, have a rough idea where they're going to be. So it's a case of that it sorts itself. And certainly at quiet meetings midweek, even on Saturdays, the bookmakers put themselves in.
Yeah, now one of the things I've noticed about York, my first visit, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it, it's a lovely atmosphere, very relaxed racecourse.
Yeah.
It's a lot different where up down south, in summer meetings, and you've got drunken people just, on a Saturday afternoon getting quite aggressive with bookmakers disputing things. I mean, even if it's only one occasion like that per big meeting, surely the bookmaker needs some sort of protection.
They do.
So what would your alternative be?
No, I'm not offering saying there's an alternative. What I'm saying is that times have moved on, and there still will be betting ring managers. Who says there won't?
When the RDT have taken over from AGT, there was talk that the betting ring managers would all be gone, and they'd have to retrain, new people. Well, nearly all the betting ring managers have got like 20 years experience, and they know how to deal with these situations. Whereas if you've got somebody that's used to just fixing the computer, it may be quite scary when you've got a group of drunken lads all getting aggressive.
Simon, I agree on what you say about the 20 years experience, but again, who has said the betting ring managers are going?
Well, we don't know yet, do we? We still don't know.
Well, we don't know. We don't know that they're going. All we've been told is it's business as normal.
Yeah.
So I don't know who said that they're going.
But they work for AGT, and AGT have lost the contract, and RDT have only got people that fix computers on their books, as far as I know.
Well, the thing is that that's probably the case, but there are such employment. There are people have employment rights, don't they?
Yeah. So you agree that you'd like to see. You need a betting ring manager there to police the betting ring if there's ever a dispute.
Main meetings and Saturdays, yes, but I can't see, but certain all-weather meetings get very busy. I mean, Northumberland Plate, that's an all-weather meeting, isn't it? So it's just horses for courses.
Yeah.
It depends on the crowd.
Okay, so we've done the controversial stuff. I want a bit of your background. You come from a
controversial stuff, have we?
You come from, well, I might do a bit more in a minute, but do you come from a bookmaking family?
Oh yes, my great-grandfather in 1923 formed the Bookmakers and Backers Protection Association, which then became the Northern BPA, and there's now the British Racecourse Bookmakers Association. We changed our name because we have a lot of members outside the northern area. We've 193 members of our own, and there's probably 15 of the east of Scotland who've affiliated with us. There's a lot of members in the south, members who you've mentioned earlier on, they're members of us. So yeah, my great-grandfather formed it in 1923. He was also the first on-course bookmaker to be recognised by a Tattersalls committee, and I've got an old annual from Copes that's got him in it. He was chairman of the Victoria Club London for 20 years, and his son Harry is the next director, next generation sat on the BPA, Northern BPA. My father Peter Hudson was on the Northern BPA. So I've followed on. So yeah, we've got a bit of track record.
So were you one of these kids that was on the racecourse learning to clerk at a young age?
My first experience was here 50 years ago, when there was the inaugural running of the Benson Hedges Gold Cup, when Roberto beat Brigadier Gerard. And I called my grandfather Pop. I said, Pop, why aren't we paying anybody out? Because he bet on the straight forecast. Yeah. So from then on in, we had what we called a skinner in the race. So I thought, well, this is the game for me.
And you seems quite late, 12. I mean, were you aware of what they did, before that? Did you not sort of were you aware that your family were a bookmaking family, and was that what you were going to do?
Well, it came about because my grandfather would always stay away. And when there was a 3-day meeting at Redcar, we stayed at Solburn, the Zetland at Solburn. So the first day I'd have to go racing with him. So I looked around the paddock, and then on the last day, it was a 3-day meeting at Clashby Goodwood. He said, come on, let's have you doing some work. You've had the holiday on us. So I was giving change and watching what he did, and it progressed from there. But in those days, a completely different type of business. A lot of your customers were known faces and accounts. Obviously, Grandad being going as long as he was, had and his father before them, they had a fantastic clientele. So that was it for me.
When was the first time you actually stood on course as a rep or whatever on your own, as the boss?
1978 Epsom Derby, and every year since at various odd race meetings and point-to-point meetings.
Okay, and then looking back, were the people that would regularly beat you like punters? When you were there plenty of punters that would win off you overall? Would you still take bets off them back then?
Oh, you did. You always took them on. You'd challenge people like Phil Bull, Frank Butchery, Joe Lowes, as late on as Ian Armitage. Because you would, and you'd take them on. You'd always get knocked back. People would always get knocked back because, of course, they didn't have the facility of hedging on exchanges.
Yeah. So how many, compared to then, how many people would you be frightened of now if they came for a bet?
They've got the cash, we'll take the bet.
So are there many professional punters who bet on course where you bet?
Well, it's very difficult to say who's a professional punter because the customers are punter or customer is far better informed these days. But at the end of the day, we beat them all.
So who were the best or most feared punters that you knew over your career?
Well, in my granddad's day, there was Phil Bull, Ian Armitage, Frank Butchery, Joe Lyles, the guy from Manchester, his name slips my memory for a minute. And there was a Tommy Robson, who was from York, Topper Robson.
So, going back to the betting ring.
Yes.
How do you see the future of it? Are you optimistic or are you pessimistic?
Should we say no comment?
Well, you must have an opinion.
Well, I'm always a very glass half full person and people laugh about it. But we've got increased competition from the online. They can trade on better terms than we do. They've got a lower cost base. We've got falling turnover, a decline in bookmakers. You don't see many new ones coming into the business. So make of that what you want. We're a margin-based business, and if your costs go up, and if your turnover doesn't go up elastically with it, you've got a problem, haven't you?
Okay, so going on from that, would you advise a bright-eyed, bushy-tailed young person with a few quid that was keen to become a racecourse bookmaker, if you would have given them your honest opinion, would you tell them yes or no?
Simon, these are the arrangements at present. You buy a license from another bookmaker to operate on the track. It expires in 2052 with a potential follow-on. But that's the fact. The certain facts at the moment are your costs are going up. Your business, you've got to give your business back in 2052. You've no increase, your turnover is going to go up in line. As an association, we are talking to some of the racecourses to try and get the licenses extended with that in mind to bring new people into the game. But those are the facts as they are at the moment.
Yeah, can you just elaborate a bit for people that don't know about the 2052 thing? So that basically means that if a bookmaker buys a pitch for £250,000 today, 2052 is gone. Is that basically what it means at the moment?
There's a potential to roll it over, but there is absolutely nothing in black and white about it.
So they don't actually own, it's not something they've got like a mortgage, deeds for or anything like that?
No, not at all. It's a position to choose on the track.
Okay, so finally, if you had the magic wand and you could change something to improve the betting ring for the better and hopefully prolong its life, what would it be?
I would think to try and make it more attractive to the consumer, stop the bookmakers relying too much on the exchanges. You don't see bookmakers betting without the favourite anymore or offering money back if second. And it's because we've gone down this route of just mirroring the exchanges. So yeah, that would be and the thing. I'd like to see a bit more flamboyance and style amongst the bookmakers. Because that was a great change from when I started in 1972. The bookmakers were all dressed in suit collars and ties, and they were dressed to kill.
So, the future bright or not? Last one.
Yes.
Is the future bright?
It's always bright, Simon. You could be in Ukraine, and every day you wake up, it's bright.
Absolutely. Well, Chris Hudson, thank you very much.
And thank you much indeed for inviting me.
Cheers.
Thank you.